What is Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do? I think we could spend 2 days talking about it, and we might not even have an answer, Sifu, right?
Right.
I think, well, first of all, the word comes from the Chinese word Jeet Kune Do. It means the way of the intercepting fist. What does that mean?
It's as simple as it sounds to intercept someone's motion to an attempt to attack you. So you're going to intercept or nullify that position and take advantage of it. But it encompasses so much more. So, has nothing to do with, you know, the phrases you always hear is like, it's non-classical, it's direct.
It's simple, simplicity.
It's simple. I mean, okay, we could use these words all day, but what does it mean? What does all of that mean?
And so what do they mean, actually?
Well, I mean, simple meaning, yeah, you're not going to use too many motions and too many tools. But when we really look at what the art is supposed to do for you, is to bring out the clarity in a confrontation or not fight. So there's two ways to looking at it: either confront, attack, or avoid the attack. Look at it as a psychological way of either fighting or not fighting. And we can get into more in depth. Some of the things that come up in Jeet Kune Do is the 5 ways of attack.
5 ways of attack, yeah.
Okay. Some of the things that come up are the fencing terms and analogies around, okay, riposte, you know, what do you do with that? Or what do you do when you avoid an attack and hit at the same time? There's a lot of things that we have to do there. So what is it? Okay, first of all, it encompasses the 5 ways.
Correct.
You know, and the 5 ways, okay, that's what it is, but how do you use it? What do you do with that? 5 ways, okay, it doesn't mean that you're gonna go, okay, so let's take one for instance, it's SDA or SAA, okay? A lot of people refer to single angulated attack. That's actually what it says in the notes. But SAA, one thing. So does that mean I'm gonna only use that portion of it to attack one time? You know, you come at me, I'm gonna single attack you.
Yeah.
Or just one attack while I'm angling.
Yeah.
Okay? It's how you do it.
Yes.
How do you use that? And then why would you do it?
Yes.
And then when would you do it? Okay? And to whom would you do it to? What kind of fighter is he? So there's those things will then help you understand an actual.
So yeah, the single angular attack, and you can go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, right? The when, the what, the who, and then you can also add attributes to it, to what power, to what speed, right?
Yeah.
It goes deeper and deeper and different angles. The one single technique, one single move, and that's why it's so deep. And I mean, that's why we could study for. Now, see how long you've been studying JKD? Yeah.
2 years.
2 months. Yeah, right?
2 months. Oh no, I earned it out of a workshop. 2 days. No.
Yes. Right.
But the thing is when you're drilling this stuff, yeah, there's drills.
Yes.
And you see it in your videos. We're doing drills. We're taking it apart. But at what distance? And why would I do that at that distance?
Right.
How did I even connect to you? Why am I doing trapping? You know, why am I even on the ground? Or why am I parrying? You know, you've got to question these things. And if you're not questioning these things and you're just doing it because somebody's telling you to do it, what are you learning?
And that's why it's such a fascinating subject that you've been probably decades studying JKD. Also me over a decade. So, you know, we're still learning. We're still
it's just consistent.
Yeah, consistently pondering and thinking about it. And the way that we read the book, Bruce's books, his work today compared to maybe 10 years ago, they're very different, right? So it's an ongoing learning process. There's no doubt about it. And there's no definite answer because it is a set of principles, it is a set of philosophy. I think one recommendation is don't focus so much on the technique. If you focus on the technique, you'll be so fixated on, this way of doing things or that way of doing things. And that's what Bruce was talking about. Personally, I think Sifu is JKD is such a personal interpretation, a personal art to Bruce. That's why there's no other Bruce Lee. There are a lot of, thousands and thousands and thousands of JKD students, but it's his very personal thing. And if you watch interviews with people who have trained with Bruce, the same thing you hear again and again is number one, the speed, the power, but also Bruce has this sixth sense of he knows what you're gonna do before you do it. And that's something that most people don't have. And that's also why I think JKD is so difficult to learn and to master. When you have a set of philosophies, it was a formless form, and you have a few tools, and it requires the practitioner to have that sense, which most don't, right? Even like top martial artists mostly don't. Well, then how are you gonna pull that off, right? It's very, very hard. That's why it's so difficult. It's much easier to learn, really. Boxing, it's much easier.
Yeah.
Right? You've got 4 punches, that's it, right?
Yeah. The thing is, we could talk about it all day, like you said, 2 days worth, but it's actually applying yourself to all of this that will make you understand, because if you apply it, and again, sparring is probably the best way to get your feet wet. You can kind of understand where the opponent's going, what he's kicking with, what he's punching with, and so you start to understand and relate to that. And so now you start getting these things to, okay, it's clicking. Okay, I get it now. I see why this works. So, but yeah, you should have something to tie the loop, but at the same time, you should have something that will allow you to continue to grow.
Yes, and if you're gonna truly study JKD, don't just watch a couple videos and say, oh, that's what it is. Do your own research. If you could, I read all the books, I've talked to a lot of JKD practitioners, I've talked to a lot of Bruce's original students, and to a point where this is just my perspective, my own interpretation. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's just, hey, at this point, at this age, this is my understanding so far, right? It also gives me more insights of Bruce's personality. At first, he's this like God to me, right? And then now it's actually more human. He has a hot temper, he's just a human being, right?
Right.
He has his flaws as well, that, people thinking about Bruce and Sifu and I both know when he was teaching students, at first he was teaching them a lot of things, but then later on he holds back a lot. That's people don't know. So purposely he would taught them the wrong things to use against them, right?
That's some of the stories that are coming out where he purposely did that, or he wasn't showing everything. So there you go, the people that are saying, oh, the Jeet Kune Do died with him. Well, you don't know half of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So by knowing that, then you need to have that perspective of looking at, okay, so just because Bruce showed that on camera, keep in mind, very secretive guy, doesn't mean he knows the camera is there. Because people sometimes might see, even the tape that he had practicing in the backyard and all this, it's just him playing around. That may not be what it is, but that's exactly the way that he punched, or that's exactly the way he kicks. He's always experimenting. Yeah. You talk to Bruce's student, Bruce would try one thing, and next week he say, no, that's BS. Don't do that no more. Let's try something else. And that's his personality. He's a little bit ADD, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, this is the way. No more. We don't do that no more. Right. What? That's Bruce, right? Like a kid, right? It is. But because of that, I like him even more, not less. Because now you learn the overall aspect of that person. Yeah. But that takes a lot of time. Yeah. So don't just read a couple books and, I know Bruce Lee's JKD. Well, I still don't know Bruce Lee's JKD, right?
But you can learn really good if you get the right teacher.
You get the right teacher, you do.
We can help you, absolutely help you. I mean, again, I have a website, theartofjkd.com.
Correct.
Visit that, and you can actually start to find a way to learn it.
Watch
the videos too.
Yeah, watch YouTube video. Go learn from Sifu. Learn properly. At least you start the right way, right? Versus there's so much confusion. If you're serious about learning, if you just want to watch it for entertainment, that's cool. But you surely want to learn the art and how it applies to life, applies to all aspects of life. Then finding a good teacher, I think, is definitely the key. So, what is JKD?
Open-ended question.
Open-ended questions. There you go.